Object number 2. Front view. Top view. Right side view. Object number 2, see-through. Front view. Top view. Right side view. Object number 2.
Hello, it's Mr. Kempton. I'm back to show you how to complete an orthographic projection for object number 2. So we're going to start again with our pencil, sharp pencil. We've got our ruler. I've got my cat meowing in the background there. So I'm going to start by looking at my object, and object number 2 is, again, essentially a block with some pieces cut out of it. So I'm going to start by drawing the block. There's the width. There's my height. And once again, I'm not measuring anything. I'm just kind of drawing with what I see. Trying to be very accurate with my lines and my corners. So there we have a front view, a basic front view. So now what we have to do is take some pieces out. If you remember the first or the second block, if you watch the video, you'll see that there's a big chunk taken out of right here on the top, and there's another piece taken out of right here on the bottom. So in doing these pieces, we can see these from the front view. So they're going to be drawn with dark solid lines because they are visible features. And the cut out of the bottom lines up with this side of the top cut. So I'll draw those in and finish that off right there. Now these cuts remove this top piece. So I'm just going to use my eraser here to erase those. And the same on the bottom. So there is my front view. Now information can be taken from this view up to your top view with projection lines from all features that you can see. And again, my projection lines are nice and light. This line lines up perfectly with this line, so I'm not going to draw it again. There's no point in doing that. I'll draw another projection line there. So there we have my projection lines going up from all the visible features. So at this point, I'm going to draw my top view. So I know that there is wood from left to right on my object. So I'm going to go all the way across. And I know that the object's not quite as deep as it is tall. So this space here is going to be less than this space here. So I'm going to draw another line across there. So looking down on my object, I can see this edge. Yes, George. My cat George is wanting to help here. So there is my other edge, solid lines that I can see. I can see this big cut. So it's going to again be a solid dark line. And now this is a new trick that we're going to learn, and this is going to be my hidden lines. I can't see this cut on the top view because we're looking down on it and that cut is out of the bottom. So it's no longer visible, but I know it's still there. So that means both of these lines need to become dotted. Now because we already have a solid line here, the solid line obviously will cover the dotted line. But right here, we are going to see a dotted line representing a hidden feature. A feature that is still there, but we cannot see it from this particular view. Now you may have noticed that when I'm drawing projection lines, I don't ever draw within the actual object. Notice the projection line from this cut started up here, above the object. Don't start it right there. You shouldn't have any lines within the object if you can help it. Okay? So there I have a front view, and I can see those two features. I have a top view. I can see the big cut, but I can't see the small cut, so it becomes dotted. Now we draw our 45-degree line. So I use my 45-degree square. And you remember me saying in the first activity, it doesn't matter where you draw the line from. So I'm going to draw my line just there, noticing that this line here is parallel to the bottom of my page. So now that I have my 45-degree line, I'm going to start extending projection lines all the way across. So I'm going to do projection lines that represent the height of the front view. I'm also going to do projection lines showing me where this cut is located. There and there. And again, my projection lines are nice and light. And I will do projection lines again from the front and from the back. And we're going to clearly see here, this is the depth of the object. Our 45-degree line will transfer this information accurately to this information to give us our right side view. So there is the front of my object. I'm going to go from that spot right there, try and keep my ruler as perpendicular to the bottom of my page as I can. And there is my other point of intersection. I drop my line straight down. So what you're seeing over here then is the bottom of the object right there, the top of the object right there. There is the depth of that top cut right there. And there is the depth of the bottom cut right there. There is the front of the object in our top view right here. And there's the back of the object in our top view right there. So let's fill in what we know. We can see the front and back, dark lines. We can see the top and the bottom, dark lines. We can't see either of these cuts from the right-hand side because they go this way. We don't see them on that right side view, but we know they're still there. So there we get our dotted lines representing hidden features. So there we go. We have a completed orthographic projection. So let's go right away and take care of our title block. Orthographic projection. And this is object number 2. My name, Mr. Kempton, and today is May, what is today's date? The 27th. There we go. Now again, our projection lines are still on there. You do not need to go back and erase all of your projection lines. If they're done properly, they're nice and light, and we can clearly see that they're different line types than our solid line, and we can see they're clearly different than our dotted line. So keeping your line types proper means you don't have to go back and do a lot of erasing and fixing at the end. All right, there's orthographic projection number 2. You can give that a shot when you're finished, take a picture, and email it to me. Good luck.